Good day, my name is Angelo. This is Nation's Voice Tower, that hub that keeps you updated on everything pertaining to the political system in Nigeria and as it borders the masses. Of course, you know what we do. Thanks for joining us. My beam light is on Ifeanyi Ubah. It's no longer news that Ifeanyi Ubah actually made moves to leave his former party, the YPP, and then make way for the APC some days ago. All right, we've delved into the reasons why he must have left the YPP, and then we noticed that there are lots of cases on him, especially the most recent one, and I decided to go into investigations, and I noticed that there is a plan. Actually, the APC always have a plot, so I noticed a plot, and I decided to have first-hand information of this. Before I go further, lots of viewers normally ask, where are proofs? Where are proofs? We know that there are lots of things that may be doubted because of proofs and all that. But I would like you to know that if these things are not said, these people would not know they are being watched. Okay? Some of these people have very, very close allies that don't even like what they are doing. Okay? So when they are into these things, these people give information out, okay, and you may not actually need evidences in some time or in those kind of issues, because some evidences may not be readily available, but lots of information that will be brought to you will be first hand. Okay, so if we have evidences, we avail. If we don't have, we will make you understand that this is like that and this is how the particular update went. We don't tell lies here, of course. So I will try to give you the reasons why Ifeanyi Ubah must have left his former party for the APC. Now, for joining Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the APC, Senator Ifeanyi Ubah got allegedly a whooping 135 billion naira richer. You know how? Alright, now listen. I told you I will uncover their plans and then we will unveil it to the public. There is a secret plot. And that is the more reason why a big wig like Ifeanyi Ubah, can't you see how big he is? How large his coast is? How very vastly spread his empire is? Of course, he has lots of funds and he's also a big name, okay, in the Anambra State political sector. So the APC needed to woo him over by any means possible. And kaboom, we uncovered the plan. Do you know how he got 135 billion naira richer for joining the APC, the All Progressive Congress? Now listen, according to our sources, Ifeanyi Ubah had a case hanging with the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON, over debts owed by himself and one of his companies, Capital Oil and Gas Limited. Debts that were said to be in the range of 135 billion naira. Now, a case which the judge of the Federal High Court of Lagos struck out, Justice Nicholas Owebo actually struck out the charge against Ifeanyi Ubah on the 18th day of October 2023, the same day Ifeanyi Ubah was supposed to be arraigned, and it happened to be the same date that he defected from the YPP to the APC. Now, let us look at the core of this. Let's look at the focal point of his defection. Okay, now instead of Ubah paying up his known loan of 135 billion naira with the AMCON, Ifeanyi Ubah hugged and embraced the APC, defected from the YPP and went down to the APC and escaped arraignment by that. Obviously, Nigeria is now on course to lose 135 billion naira because a man who borrowed from our own Commonwealth decided to join the APC. So, obviously, his sins can now be forgiven because he is now a member of the APC. Remember sometime when Adams Oshomole spoke on the issues regarding Philip Shuaibu and his boss, that is Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State. Remember when Adams Oshomole made a statement like, when you come to the APC, your sins are forgiven. So in regards to that, Ifeanyi Ubah's sins have just been forgiven, okay, and he has just followed suit to what Adams Oshomole said earlier. So his sins will be forgiven. Now, of course, we obviously will never hear about the money again, according to these things that have played out. Ifeanyi Ubah has finally gone to the APC. That debt of 135 billion naira will never be heard again. But what if everybody that is owing AMCON decides to join the APC? So they could be free from their own debts too. Is that going to be feasible? Is that going to be very feasible? So what are we doing in this country afterwards? Okay, this is the plan that Ifeanyi Ubah had with the APC and Bola Ahmed Tinubu for him to be able to be forgiven of his loan of 135 billion naira with the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria. How did the judge now strike out the case in the twinkle of an eye? How? Was he found not guilty? A money he owed, he borrowed with his own accounts? Right, so why, on what basis was he discharged and struck, and on what basis were the cases, or was the case struck out? That is that on that particular update. Alright, we are going to switch the update beam light on the election tribunals taking place in all the 36 states, or in all the states there, let me say, in all the states where election tribunals are taking place. Alright, there has been an order from the appeal court president, Justice Monica Dongban Mensem, for all tribunals to be moved to the Abuja and Lagos state divisions of the appellant courts. There are reasons best known to the president of the appeal court for the sudden transfer of the tribunals sitting in different states. Now, as regards to that, if there is an alleged allegation against a judge, the National Judicial Council should move against the judge, if that should be the reason why she is asking the tribunals to be moved to Abuja and Lagos. Maybe it is for supervision purposes, or let's say maybe it is for a proximity to herself, to gain access to, for easy analysis of judges and their mode of judgment and all that. But we don't have a better view of the reasons why Justice Dongban Mensem has asked that this tribunal should be moved to Abuja. Then, talking about this, I have Toby Soniyi. Toby Soniyi is a judiciary editor with Arise News. I think he has a better view to all this. Stay tuned.
I mean, Abuja from all the state of the federation takes just about 40 minutes. So if we want to take tribunal away from the governors, it will only take 40 minutes flight to Abuja for the governor to come in. So as far as I'm concerned, that is not the issue. We need to be accountable. If there are allegations against judges, whether the judge is sitting in Enugu, in Maduguri, anywhere, then the National Judicial Council should move against the judge. We cannot continue to, address symptoms and leave the problem. So moving the cost to Abuja, it's fine. It's good that you take them away slightly from the governor, but it's going to create its own problem. People will have to move witnesses from here. It's going to be very expensive. Some of the petitioners may not even be able to afford it. If your petition is in Port Harcourt, you have, anyway, it's an appellate case now. There may be no need for witness movement. But between you and I believe that the problem is lack of accountability. People do things and get away with it. If anyone is hoping that moving the tribunal, I appeal to Abuja and Lagos will solve any problem, I doubt. Governors can always reach judges if they want to. It's only for judges to decline such things. Wherever they are, we know instances where they've met judges abroad, they even move away from the whole Federation of Nigeria. So if we want to address corruption in judiciary, we should be serious and face it squarely. It's not this makeshift approach that we are adopting. We are not going to go, and we are not going to go far with it. So the judiciary needs to do more than shifting the venue of sitting of court to address corruption in the judiciary. That's my position really.
All right, you've heard it from Toby Soniyi there. he tried to give a certain point of view to why the tribunal, sitting in lots of states, would be moved to Abuja and Lagos. But we wouldn't really know for now. But if you ask me, I would say because of lots of discrepancies that are coming out from different judgments in different tribunals that have been heard so far, maybe that is the reason why Justice Monica Dongban Mensem, the president of the Court of Appeal, has asked them to be at a central place so that to give her access to supervise whatever they are doing, so we don't have a long list of judges and justices that finally had a chance to overturn our constitution for cash gifts. Thank you so much for staying tuned on that particular update. Finally, on Bola Ahmed Tinubu's student loan scheme, allegedly that was supposed to be given to students over time to help the education sector, reports have shown over time that between 40% to 59% of people with bachelor's degrees and HNDs are unemployed. But the question is, what are the incentives of taking the loan from the federal government? Talking about this, I have Somna Sambo. Somna Sambo is an Arise News analyst and editor. I think he has a better view of how the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration may actually help or mar the education sector with the new students' loan scheme.
Data is lacking, and a recent report actually said, for example, that between 40 to 59% of those who have bachelor's degrees and HND certificates in Nigeria are unemployed. So starting from that gives you an idea as to the quantum of people who have even gone to school and who don't have jobs.
Yeah.
So the next question is, so was the desire to even go to school any longer when those who have gone to school with their own funding or that of their parents' funding or someone helping them are unable to get jobs? So if I'm taking a loan to go to school, what's the incentive? I mean, when the government is also not making grounds for me to actually get a job when I graduate. So you will see.
And of course, if you're giving people loans, you're going to expect a lot of people to take those loans.
Yes.
So the number of people entering the job
because
market
at the back of it is actually to increase access to education. So the volume is going to expand.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of poor people, poor families in the country. Now when you say that someone is about to take 500, someone's taking 500,000 naira, for example, as loan, or maybe 5 million naira as loan, then the issues of sureties come in, and then you say that before this loan is given to you, it has to be signed by someone who's on grade level this and all of that. Don't forget, one of the reasons that made it very difficult for it to be initially accepted is because of the conditions that were put in place. The conditions were being stringent, but of course the president loosened up through his chief of staff, providing a lot of explanations here and there. But even then, with the law that has been put in place, you know that the Nigerian Education Bank, when it comes into existence, is going to act as a financial institution. So if it's providing loans, there are other factors that have to be put in place. But if we expand the access to education, and then we have a lot of people coming to take these loans, wouldn't they overwhelm the institution itself in terms of the amount that's available for the institution to disburse as loans? That's one question. And then the other part of it is that the consistency of the loans, how acceptable will it be? And we don't have politicians abusing it. I mean, you and I know what happens if people are looking for jobs. They just get notes and send it to particular people, and then those few children of the elites have access to those jobs. What are we putting in place as safeguards to ensure that lawmakers, politicians, and other people don't just write notes to the bank executives at the Nigeria Education Bank, and then the loans will end up in the hands of those who can actually afford the payment of their tuition? And so the targeted people wouldn't have access because they don't have those that could actually introduce them.
To get to the money.
So because I mean, it could actually be subject to lots of abuse. So we need to put all of this, have data, have access to the number of people who are really poor, and then really know if indeed their families can do that or not. And then lastly, before you come in, why are we not talking about other sources of funding the public education system?
And as Prof said, endowment, it makes sense.
All right, that was that there. You've heard it all, but if you ask me, I would say I will still hold my stand, and I will still maintain that the students' loan scheme that has been in existence right from I think right from the times of right from the military regime. Yes, if I'm actually correct, you should be able to note that this students' loan scheme that was just revitalized by Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been in existence. But aside that, let's not shy away from the main reason why the students' loan scheme was brought into existence. I don't want to think, I don't want to be tempted to think it is for political reasons, but I want to say that it was with the sole aim, I want to believe that it's with the sole aim to help the educational sector in Nigeria. Because when you look at the pros and cons, I mean the requirements that are being approved for whoever is interested in these loans, you notice that they are more or less too impossible for these loans to be accessed by people of the low class, which makes up almost, if not half of the population of the country. All right. Why? Because there are lots of requirements stated in this loan scheme acquisition process that has to do with getting a director, somebody at a level of a director, to sign your surety form for you, almost getting parents or having someone in the family who has an account that has not less than, there are lots of requirements that seem to be very unrealistic, especially when you associate these loans with those it was actually meant for. Who are they? The less privileged Nigerians. You find out that after all has been said and done, those to access this loan will be those people who don't really need it. All right, those people who can really afford their tuition without any stress. So you notice that the aim, or the platform on which the loan scheme was established, becomes solely defeated. I hope the government learns from this and brings another, sort of intervention for revitalization of the educational sector. Thank you so much for staying with us. Before I say quits, I would love to urge you, like our videos, share them. Don't forget to drop a comment for us in the comment section. If you're watching me for the first time, make sure you tap the subscribe button. And if you're also not used to the subscribe button, don't forget, tap it and then tap the notification bell too, so that you will get updated anytime I drop a new video, especially now that the Supreme Court's case is at hand. Don't forget, we would always bring you their secret plans, whether they like it or not, whether they give us evidences or not. We have eyes everywhere they are. There are eyes everywhere. The walls speak. So don't get it twisted. Nation's Voice Tower will always get you updated. See you next time. Bye.